So the next one we're going to look at is Cite You Like. Cite You Like is a free service for managing and discovering scholarly references. Scholarly being the key word. Store and search your PDFs. So this one allows you to store PDFs. So that's a little bit different. Alright, this is their home page and there's no list of links like we saw in the other ones. I actually am a Cite You Like user, so I have an account. I'm not going to log in. I'm just going to hit browse, which you could do as well. I know that button is there because I am a user. So there's Cite You Like, and here's another menu. Home, everyone's library, browse, search, journals, facts, how to. Everyone's library. That's what we're going to look at right now. This is where the papers are. So here's the article title. Here's the citation. This tells you who linked it, or is the authors. Here's some tags. The date and time that it was saved. Here's some more tags. So you could actually search by tag if you wanted to. You could just click on social if you wanted to see papers related to social or bioinformatics or protein. So that's interesting. Tags are good. These are all very sciencey. We're not going to see anything about house here. We're not going to see anything about Sarah Palin in Cite You Like. If I wanted to search for something specifically, I could use that search button. If I wanted to look for journals, browse groups of users. If I wanted more information, there's the FAQ, frequently asked questions, or how to. So either way. There are some ads here. They're just Google ads, nothing too crazy. Otherwise it's pretty clean. I have this window kind of squashed down to fit this tutorial. This isn't the full view. If I were to open the window up, it would be bigger, but that's the general layout. It's pretty simple. So this is Cite You Like. It does give us tags like delicious. It gives us some little rating, a check mark, stars. I don't know what that means. We'll have to investigate that. But what's interesting to know is the citation format. If you're teaching high school kids, particularly college-bound high school kids, this might be a good site for them to see and use and become familiar with the citation format. That'll be important in college. So that's Cite You Like. So these three websites that we're looking at today were selected based on their popularity, features, and durability. People like these websites. They are easy to use and they've been around for a long time. You can assume that your bookmark collection will be safely stored on any of these three. I'd like you to complete this exercise before moving forward in the presentation. For part 2, the search terms could be a single word or a very short phrase. You might search Twilight, philosophy, Odysseus, education. Or you might search a term like baby carrots, Major League Baseball, or Barack Obama. I hope you took a few minutes to complete the exercise. Conducting the same activity on different websites is essentially a usability assessment and helps you determine if that site is worth investigating further. What did you notice about the sites? What did you notice about the types of links and resources people were sharing and tagging? Which site did you find easy or difficult to navigate? Everyone has personal preferences. When you choose a site that you like, you are connecting with other people who have the same environmental preference. This is another way of connecting with people who are like you, or have similar interests. With any technology implementation, whether it's for you alone, for your company, for your school, for your class, Planning is a key factor for success. There are many different web tools out there. Selecting the right one for the job is important. And there are many versions of the same tools. Explore options and choose the right one for you and your collaborators. As we just saw, there are a variety of free social bookmarking applications available. Consider your intended application before selecting a tool. You may, of course, create as many accounts on different sites as you wish, but keeping all of your bookmarks on one site may be more helpful in the long run. Now that we have explored 3 popular sites and are more familiar with the concepts of social bookmarking, let's think again about how we can use the service. Also consider with whom you want to share your bookmarks. It's okay if you don't plan to share but only want to store your own bookmarks online. This is actually a smart thing to do. That way you can access your collection from any computer at home, at the office, at the library. Note, it is important to be aware of the type of content and comments prevalent on these sites and other Web 2.0 sites. Knowing what is out there will help you help your students find and use good, reliable resources. Setting up privacy options is limited. After all, this is called social bookmarking, and by nature it's about collaborating with other people. There are privacy settings, and they can be set up in your user profile. When you set up an account, you walk through the steps in a simple web form. If you know you will have your students create accounts, spend some extra time in your own profile reviewing options. Note the settings that you think will help students, and when it comes time for them to establish accounts, you will be able to answer their questions. Here's another exercise you can do to become familiar with the tools. You can choose the service you like best and just do that one, or you can do 2 or all 3 sites. You don't need to set up an account to complete this exercise. You will be accessing freely available information. If you do decide to set up an account later on, this exercise will have proved useful. I do hope you took a few minutes to complete the last exercise. You would have learned about more functions within the various social bookmarking websites. Accounts are free on the 3 sites we explored today, and there are advanced tools and tips and tricks we did not cover. Here's a quick note about Delicious. With Delicious, you can actually import bookmarks from Internet Explorer or Firefox, so if you've already built a collection of saved links in your computer web browser, you can easily move them to your new Delicious account. Now that you are familiar with social bookmarking, look for quick links to these tools on websites you visit regularly. You will see little logos and the Share This icon, which makes it easy for you to add that page to your collection. I hope you've learned today that social bookmarking is a fun and useful way to store your bookmarks. I hope you found the tutorial helpful. Thank you for your time today. Please contact me if you have any questions or concerns.